The first 15 cheat codes got you winning more games. These next 15 are what separate the 3-5 players from the 4-0 players. I've watched hundreds of students make this jump, and it has nothing to do with drilling.
One of the big things on serves is we want to make sure our opponents cannot move forward. So what I see a lot of times is if I'm standing right here, this is my default place to stand. If they hit it to my backhand, God bless them, because I'm not giving them very much room. But if they're smart, they're going to hit it over to this corner. Why is that a good principle? Because I can't move forward, I have to move laterally and then hit it. That delays me getting up to the line. So what you want to do is make sure you hit your ball as deep as possible, and if you can't hit it deep, make them move sideways. The last thing we want them to do is be able to stand back here, oh, thank you very much, hit the ball and come up to the non-volley zone. Make them move sideways or keep them back. One of those two, but that's a big thing for your serves.
Did you ever watch the pros hit drives? They're not hitting them at 100%. They're not winding clear back here and just ripping them. They know that if they do that, if you hit it right to one of their opponents, all they're going to do is going to return it right back to them. So what they're doing is they're hitting it at 60 or maybe 70%. So they're hitting top spin drives at 70%. They're taking that extra 30% and they're putting it where strategically they should put it, at their opponent's foot, right down the middle to confuse their opponents, at their opponent's backhand. So slow down your drives and work more on accuracy. I'm in the transition zone and I'm caught here. I have to do what? I don't want to hit a drive from here if it's down at my feet. I want to hit a reset. How do I hit that reset? Keep that paddle tip down and lift with your shoulder. Just lift with your legs and shoulder. All you're trying to do is get it to land on the other side of the net in the kitchen. While they're waiting for it to bounce, I'm moving up. Don't get too fancy with it. Reset using the tip of your paddle down and just push it forward. Get the job done first. Get back to even Steven against your opponents. Hey, you want to beat bangers and they're like 3-5, maybe 3-7-5, but they just like to hit the ball hard? One of the things we tell people is don't let somebody get up here. Keep them off the non-volley zone. But if you're playing these guys that just like to hit the ball hard, it's the opposite. We want to get them up to the non-volley zone. I want you to meet your new best friend. That's the net. So when you get them out here, make them stretch, make them reach, make them move their feet around, and keep the ball low. If they're trying to bang it, you're going to force them to dink with you, and they're going to lose. They're going to get impatient and they're going to lose. That's what bangers do. So make sure, let them come up to the net, hit it softly, make sure they're always reaching for the ball. That will keep them from banging, and if they do, they're going to hit it right into the net. All right, folks, we also need to keep our feet planted. We need to keep our feet in the ground. Unless you're jumping up to hit a slam, we want our feet in the ground. We don't want our one foot up in the air because that takes away our legs. If our legs and our feet are planted, we're going to be more consistent. We're going to be able to use those legs to generate more power. Everything good happens when we keep our legs planted. I see a lot of my students, and I do this myself sometimes, so when I use a finger, I'm using the thumb sometimes here too. I see a lot of people reaching out and flicking the ball like this. That's wrong. If you have to do it, if it's something you have to lunge for, you can't help that. But a lot of times we have plenty of time to get our feet behind the ball, and that's what we want to do at all times. So if a cross-court dink comes across, you want to keep it right here between your feet so you can use your shoulder and lift with your shoulder, lift with your legs, lift with your big muscles. One of the big things in pickleball is we want to create the best angles we can. We want to move our opponents around as much as possible. When we're back here at the baseline, we have a smaller window to hit angles. But when we get up to the non-volley zone, we have more angles to hit. The way to increase that even more is to keep your paddle out over the non-volley zone. That way, when it comes over, I have the ability to hit down and hit more angles across court, or reach over and hit angles this way. So keep your paddle out here, not here. Bend your knees, put your paddle out, hit those angles.
Which tip is your favorite? Let us know in the comments and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos.
Take the ball out of the air if you can, only if you can reach comfortably. I see a lot of people reaching way in like this and they're out of balance. So if they reach in like this, what are we going to use? Our wrist. We don't want to do that. We want to collapse straight down, shoulders over ankles. We want to come down like this, and if we can reach the ball comfortably, we want to take it out of the air. It takes away time from the opponents. It gives us the ability to hit a nice high lob because the ball is falling, dinking it, or speeding it up. So if you can take it out of the air comfortably, do that. One of the biggest things we can do when we're attacking our opponent is hit it at their feet. When we hit it at their feet, a lot of times our opponents are standing straight up or their paddle is in this position right here. They have to drop their paddle all the way down. It's very hard to drop your paddle on a quick shot and be ready to anticipate and be ready to return that ball. So aim for your opponent's feet. Aim for their shoelaces, especially on their backhand side.
Speed up. Speed up should always occur on this half of your side, right over here. Because if you're speeding it up here, I can speed up down the line. I can take it across the middle. I can reach over and hit it across there. If I come over here and I'm trying to speed up, my angle is shorter. My opponents have less ground to cover and the speed ups are harder. I'm not saying don't do it, but don't expect to hit a winner. That's a winner. This is a maybe.
Folks, when you're up at the non-volley zone, I see a lot of people, they have their paddle set like this. Well, the ball's going to go over there. We know that if their paddle is set like this. What if your paddle's set like this? Where's the ball going to go? We can push it many ways. On top of that, we can hit either dinks, we can hit a speed up very quickly, or we can hit a lob over their head. If the paddle looks the same, they're not going to know what we're doing. So let's keep them guessing. Let's keep that paddle tip down so you can hit a multitude of shots and deceive your opponent. One of the best things you can do is anticipate where the ball's going to go. And by doing that, you're watching your opponent's paddle face. So if your opponent's paddle face is here, we know they're going to be pushing the ball across the net there. If it's here, we know they're going over here. Watch their paddle face. Anticipate where the ball's going to go. Be in ready position. That's going to make you have a better attack. Watch his paddle angle before he hits it. Where do you think the ball is going to go? Look at her position and paddle angle before she hits the ball. It tells you where that ball is going to go. This one's a little trickier. Did you think she was going to go down the line or go cross court? Do you think he's going to go cross court or straight ahead? How about this one? If you can anticipate where the ball is going by watching their body language and paddle angle before they hit the ball, you'll have more time to get ready and you'll win more points. When I'm lobbing, I like to watch and see if I can get somebody to lean out over the non-volley zone. When they're leaning forward, that means I can hit it back, and when they go to get up, they have to stand up before they can turn and run. So that's an opportunity for me to watch what they're doing and hit a lob shot. One of the things I like to do is before I play against an opponent, I like to watch what they do when they play. You got some people, we call them serial lobbers, right? They just like to lob everything over there. When you have that person, make sure you don't have to be right up on the non-volley zone. If you just take about 2 or 3 feet back from the non-volley zone, you'll be able to get to the ball quicker. And you've got to be in touch with your partner, making sure if that goes over your dominant shoulder, that you're just going to move over to the left and your partner's going to come over and take that and you're going to switch places. So that's the way to do that. When you take a couple steps back and you can smack it, you're going to win points. If it goes too far over you and you run over here, your partner's going to be able to run over and he's going to be able to hit it hard. So make sure you don't want to be right up on the non-volley zone. So you get up to the non-volley zone, they're at the non-volley zone, you hit a really nice dink, they get their paddle down here and you can sense they're going to hit it really hard. What do? Just get out of the way. If they're down here like this and the net's right there, there's an extremely high chance whatever they do, when they hit it hard, if they don't hit you, it's going out of bounds. Get your paddle out of the way, you get out of the way.